opportunities to learn and exchange. I think this week we'll be learning and we'll be exchanging a lot. Each one of our jurisdictions has embarked on various forms of reforms. So this is the week we are supposed to share and exchange the best practices. We have experiences to share, so we have a lot to share amongst ourselves. As the President said, the EAMJA brings us all together. We are a bird of the same feather, and we flock together. And we have been flocking together for the past 20 meetings. And this is our 21st meeting. We are coming together, and I'm sure we are going to learn a lot. And the President of EAMJA said, membership from national associations representing magistrates and judges, they have a strong mission. The mission is to promote and enhance rule of law and accessibility to justice through harmonizing judicial systems within East Africa. So we are also playing that role. How do we harmonize our different national judicial systems, justice sectors? How do they synchronize and go towards the East African integration? So these annual conferences, they organized by EAMJA, they underscore the importance of judges and magistrates from across East Africa getting together and conversing with fellow judges and magistrates, sharing experiences and challenges. Honorable guests of honor, when judges attend these meetings and magistrates, they are all equal. I think the barrier of protocol, the barrier of seniority always goes down. We are all equal members of EAMJA. So this week we are going to break down the protocols, and we are also going to make sure that we really exchange ideas and coming together. Honorable guests of honor, looking at the many advantages these annual conferences offer, I cannot but urge also our national associations. There are some magistrates especially who work in a very remote areas of our jurisdictions. We should always make it a point of inviting magistrates who come from remote. In Tanzania, for instance, our country is very big, and there are some magistrates who work in very difficult areas. So they are also supposed to be given priority when we convene in such meetings. I think the magistrates would like that. We should make sure that we have more and more magistrates, especially from the remotest parts of our area. Honorable guests of honor, EAMJA conferences, they offer us opportunities to meet, to hear, to learn, and also hear from experts. Normally in our day-to-day work, we rarely deal with some of the topics which are covered in these meetings. So throughout this week, we are going to hear some of those topics from experts. For instance, we are going into some frontier topics like how judiciary-led reforms contribute to efficiency, how labor dispute resolution systems make our East African region a favorable destination for investments and business, how leveraging technology has facilitated access to justice. So these are the areas which we do not normally deal with when we work in our desks back at home. And as the President also said, this is the week of making friends. With so many of us around here, I don't think there'll be anyone who will end up without a friend or friends at the end of the week. So I invite you to make friends, make friendships, and those friendships should last, should be friendships of professional ties and also foster social and cultural ties. Honorable guests of honor, I would also like to thank the EAMJA for honorable guests of honor. The recommendations which will come of these meetings will be very important. It is my hope that the recommendations, they will spur our jurisdictions into changes, because normally these meetings we come with a lot of recommendations. We should make also sure that these recommendations are implemented. Honorable guests of honor, One area which I'm sure will become topical this week is that our national judiciaries require sufficient funds. Whenever Chief Justices meet, the question of funds will always arise. And I'm sure in this meeting, sufficient funding to the judiciary is also important. And in the question of funding, I would also like to urge the national judiciaries to make sure that we fund adequately and sufficiently our national associations. Because these associations, they do some of the most important work. They are part of the protecting the independence of the judiciary, rule of law. We should always make sure that they are given sufficient funding. And we should always also urge these national associations to minimize squabbles, internal squabbles. Let us maintain squabbles within. We should not allow internal squabbles to derail the very important functions which our associations have. Now, as the representative of the regional commissioner said, we are going to be tied up throughout this week in this room. But as he said, there is life after darkness in Arusha. There is life after darkness in Arusha. And I think we should venture and see Arusha by night. And because our profession is a profession of protocols, and seniority, so when we meet after 6 o'clock in Arusha, there shall be no protocols. No my lords, my ladies, no bowing down. Just say hello and you move on to see the Arusha at night. We were also told that Arusha is world famous for seamless hospitality to visitors. I'm sure, make sure that you experience that. And do not miss out on Sports Bonanza on 5th December. We shall see whether Uganda and Tanzania, they are disputing over whose delegation is biggest, whether they are going to win in the Sports Bonanza. And Tanzania is also unique in the sense that there's one place where you can turn your clock back to 3 million years back. Yes, in Tanzania, Ngorongoro crater. Do not miss that opportunity. Do not miss the opportunity, because when you climb down towards the crater, you'll be going back to 3 million years ago, when there was a huge mountain, some say taller than Mount Kilimanjaro, and there was a huge volcano. It brought that mountain down. It formed the Ngorongoro crater and caldera. So as you go down, make sure you turn your clock 3 million years back, so that you will enjoy the game in the crater. And when you come back, please make sure that you bring your clock forward to 21st century. So I wish you a very successful trip in Ngorongoro crater, and I'm sure you'll be asking there a lot of questions why it is sometimes referred to as one of the wonders of the world. Now, it is now my pleasure to invite Honorable Kassim Majaliwa, the Prime Minister of the United Republic of Tanzania, to address this congregation and open the 21st East African Magistrates and Judges Association Conference. I thank you all for kind attention. Honorable guests of honor, you are most welcome.
Tukae. Honorable Professor Paramagamba John Aidan Mwaluko Kabudi, the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, United Republic of Tanzania, Honorable Professor Ibrahim Hamis Juma, Chief Justice of United Republic of Tanzania, Honorable Hamis Ramadhani Abdallah, Chief Justice of Zanzibar, Honorable Chief Justice here present, Honorable John Eudes Kaitirima, President of the East African Magistrates and Judges Association, Honorable Justice of Supreme Court, Justice of the Court of Appeal and the High Courts here present, Honorable Justice Kayobera Nestori, President of the East African Court of Justice, Honorable Lady Justice Imam Aboud, President of the African Court of Human and People Rights, Honorable President of the Commonwealth Magistrates and Judges Association here present, Honorable Felician Tahingerwa, Arusha District Commissioner, Honorable Muhammad Chande, former Chief Justice of United Republic of Tanzania, Honorable Eva Nkia, Chief Court Registrar, Judiciary of Tanzania, Right Professor Elisante Ole Gabriel, Chief Court Administrator, Judiciary of Tanzania, Honorable Magistrates and all other judicial officers here present, Honorable President of Kenya and Judges Association, Uganda Judicial Officers Association, Zanzibar Judicial Officers Associations, and Judges and Magistrates Association of Tanzania, Honorable Magistrates and all other judicial officers here present, member of the Regional Defense and Security Committee present, esteemed participants, member of the press, ladies and gentlemen, niwasalimu kwa salamu za Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Honorable Chief Justice, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, let me take this opportunity to thank Almighty God for granting us the gift of life and the opportunity to gather here in Arusha City. It is with great humility and gratitude that I stand before you to represent His Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, who could not be here due to other equally important commitments. Distinguished participants, on behalf of people of the United Republic of Tanzania, I extend our heartfelt greetings to each one of you who gathered here today for the 21st East African Magistrates and Judges Association Conference and the Annual General Meeting. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the organizers for selecting Arusha as the venue for this event. Your decision not only showcased the beauty and the potential of our nation, but also reflects the importance of this gathering. We are truly honored to host such a distinguished group. Karibuni sana Tanzania. Distinguished participants, before I proceed with my speech, allow me to take this opportunity to convey warm greetings and congratulations from our esteemed leaders here in Tanzania. Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of United Republic of Tanzania, His Excellency Dr. Philip Isidori Mpango, Vice President of United Republic of Tanzania, and His Excellency Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, President of Zanzibar and Chairman of Revolution Council, They have entrusted me with the honor of expressing their sincere appreciation to you all participants for your continued dedication and invaluable contribution to the legal profession and judicial system in our great region. Distinguished participants, I would like to emphasize the significance of the theme of this conference, which focuses on strengthening the justice delivery system for regional integration and economic growth. This carefully chosen theme is both captivating and thought-provoking. It is three key components: the justice delivery system, regional integration, and the economic growth of great regional importance. However, I believe the core of these issues lies in the justice delivery system, as it formed the foundation for the discussion throughout this conference. A strengthening judicial delivery system is essential for deepening regional integration and economic growth. As one of the leaders in this region, I highly value regional gathering like this, which brings together East African magistrates and judges to address critical national and regional issues. This gathering provides an opportunity to analyze the challenges we face in delivering justice and to develop strategies for to overcome them. The EAMJA umbrella was to collaborate in ensuring effective participatory justice for our citizens. Distinguished participants, as I consider the significance of a knowledge-loaded forum like this of East African magistrates and justice, also reminded of one fact once stated, that is, if states are to be effective, they must develop a special subset of nodes, processes, and forums that constitute a deliberative system. I believe this forum is one of such special subsets of a developmental state because apart from adding value to the national and regional developmental cause, it helps create and shape an equitable social legal development agenda infused with integrated justice-based economic growth. In their book, Deliberation and Development, Rethinking the Role of Voice and Collective Action in a Unique System, Societies, 2015, Hela and Rao outlined three roles of developmental state. One, defining social choices of development goals. Second, building institutional capacity to achieve these goals effectively. And third, promoting fundamental rights and providing incentives for individuals to invest in their future with the necessary social support. This book, in my view, is a highly recommended reading. The three roles pointed out here can be viewed through the perspective of strengthening justice delivery systems for regional economic growth, which is our underlying theme of this conference. In Tanzania, under the leadership of Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, we have made key socio-economic policy decisions that shape our developmental strategy, aiming to improve the welfare and the well-being of the Tanzanian people. These policies include, among others, the focus on strengthening institutional capacity within the justice delivery system through modernization. The goal is to promote fundamental individual rights, enhance the judicial contribution to the more favorable investment climate, and improve the adoption of modern technologies to support a citizen-centric judiciary. This will ensure effective, transparent, and timely delivery of justice, to name just a few key objectives. Distinguished participants, the government of Tanzania holds the judiciary in high regard and in full support in its effort to modernize the justice delivery system. Our government believes that access to justice is a fundamental pillar that advances the objectives of Tanzania's development vision 2025 and Sustainable Development Goal number 16, which is dedicated to promoting peace and inclusive society for sustainable development, ensuring access to justice for all, and build effective accountability institutions at all levels. Distinguished participants, the justice delivery system is crucial for upholding the rule of law, good governance, and justice independence, all of which contribute to economic growth. Through our 5-year development plan, the government of Tanzania has demonstrated its commitment to modernization of the justice system. In 2023, Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan appointed Presidential Commission of distinguished individuals to explore reforms in the criminal justice system. This bold step reflects her belief that inclusive justice reform is essential for social integration and economic growth. Achieving this requires a sustainable commitment to investing in the modernization of both civil and the criminal justice system. Ladies and gentlemen, Presidential Criminal Justice Commission successfully carried out its mandate and produced a report. This report has been duly received, and our government, in collaboration with the judiciary, is now working on implementing its recommendations. I believe these efforts are crucial for a healthy society. They will drive economic growth, boost investor confidence, and promote equitable democratic governance based on respect for the rule of law and human rights, including the right of those who encounter the laws. Modernizing both civil and the criminal justice system will build trust in our judiciary, fostering stability, security, peace, and tranquility of our citizens and investors alike. These factors are essential for fostering substantial and inclusive socio-economic growth, ensuring equal business opportunities, and advancing our regional integration agenda. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased that during your deliberation, you will have an opportunity to engage with His Lordship, the retired Chief Justice, Honorable Mohammed Chande, who is here, whose presentation of enhancing judicial foundation court is the cornerstone of the criminal justice chain. We highlight the importance of reforming our criminal justice system. His Lordship, the chairman of the Presidential Criminal Justice Commission, brings invaluable experience and wisdom, and he is one of the most respected judicial figures in our region and across Africa. And I'm confident that you'll be great benefit from these insights. Distinguished participants, it is also a privilege for me to join this distinguished gathering, even briefly, knowing that you will have ample time to discuss how justice delivery system can serve as a catalyst for regional integration and economic growth. During your session, you will explore vital issues such as the importance of strengthening and modernizing justice system and adopting emerging technologies to improve efficiency. Distinguished participants, re-engineering justice process through modern technological innovation is crucial for achieving effective justice delivery. I have had the privilege of reviewing your program and see that you will focus on this critical area, which requires thoughtful deliberation. The adoption of technology can revolutionize case management system, enhance access to justice, and make the delivery of legal services more effective and accessible. Distinguished participants, A transparent, dependable justice system is achieved by implementing an efficient technology-assisted case management system. Such a system not only reduces cost but also saves time and resources, bringing those services closer to the people and stimulating economic growth. Many countries globally are re-engineering their justice and governance system by embracing modern technology, including artificial intelligence. As Bill Gates once remarked, AI will utterly change how we live our lives online and off. We must prepare to embrace these changes. Distinguished participants, through these innovations, judiciaries have strengthened adjustment process, and many countries have been positive impact across sectors such as fiscal planning, education, health, and agribusiness development, all contributing to robust economic growth both domestically and regionally. In East Africa Community Cooperation, distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen, I have noted that your upcoming discussion will focus on improving the adjudication of transaction organization crime, harmonizing labor dispute settlement mechanisms, and facilitating the phased movement of labor within the region. These are vital issues for regional integration and economic growth. And I believe that regional integration requires a harmonized labor standards framework to ensure inclusive economic growth. Additionally, regional growth and its benefits depend on integrated economic environment, regulated free movement of labor, and a coordinated strategy to combat transactional crime. Transaction and organized crime remain a significant and growing threat to nation, region, and global security. These crimes undermine democratic institutions, public health, safety, justice system, and economic stability. As our region becomes more integrated, with increased trade and labor mobility, we become more valuable to such crime, necessitated coordinated regional efforts to combat them. I sincerely hope your discussion and the proposed solution will support our national and regional efforts to create an integrated justice system based on the rule of law and human rights. These efforts will also help us develop synchronized systems that work together to prioritize the well-being of our citizens. I trust your discussion will uncover efficient, secure, and dynamic justice-centered strategies for socio-economic development in East Africa and the entire region. This will also open new avenue for expanding effective and efficient justice delivery system across the region. Distinguished participants, I join other speakers to warmly welcome East African judges and magistrates to the United Republic of Tanzania. You are crucial East Africa regional integrated partner. Due to Tanzania's strategic location, we serve as a trade route for landlocked neighboring countries through Dar es Salaam port. The effective and efficient justice delivery system we all strive for will add value to Tanzania's role in regional integration and economic growth. Given the purpose of your session, I will refrain from a lengthy keynote speech. However, as I conclude, I invite you to take a moment to appreciate the beauty of our country, but for a short drive within this everywhere area of Arusha. Some of you might find it interesting to see the Serengeti, where the world's largest and most spectacular animal migration takes place. I also encourage you to take a tour of the Ngorongoro crater, an extinct volcanic crater in the Eastern Rift Valley. Another memorable spot to visit is the Olduvai Gorge, known as the cradle of mankind, where the steps of the oldest man are visible. Further, you can spare your time, especially after this conference, to visit the islands of Zanzibar, well known for spice and finest unpolluted beaches in Africa. Its white sand exotic beaches provide a peaceful atmosphere for relaxation and sunbathing. Alternatively, you can also choose to visit the highest freestanding mountain in Africa, the mountain Kilimanjaro. The mountain Kilimanjaro, it can be seen from everywhere, but to climb you must come to Tanzania. It suffices to say that Tanzania boasts of such an abundance of wildlife. The Selous, for example, in the world's largest game reserve, while other national parks such as Lake Manyara, Tarangire, Arusha, Mahale, Gombe, Katavi, Rubondo, Komazi, Kumi, and Ruaha, which are all home of millions of wonders and easily visible wildlife. Finally, let me conclude by wishing the magistrates and judges of East Africa a successful and productive conference. May the Almighty God bless Africa and the East African community. May the Almighty God bless Tanzania. With this remark, on behalf of Her Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, I now declare that the 21st East African Magistrates and Judges Association Conference and Annual General Meeting opened officially.
Thank you, your guest of honor, for gracing our occasion. We are mindful of the tight schedule ahead of you. May now just perform two very brief occasions. And the first one, actually, we request the Chief Justice to come forward in the spirit of hospitality and as a token of appreciation, we have a small present that we want to give it to you. My Lord, the Chief Justice, can you come forward? And the one who is responsible to bring the chief, can you bring you the present, please? That's a small present from the Chief Justice of Tanzania in appreciation of you taking time to officiate our occasion. Yeah, may you kindly take your seats, please. Delegates. Thank you. You can, guest of honor, can take your seats. And the final event, which is going to also be very brief, again in the being mindful of the tight schedule, we are going to have a group photo, and this is just one group photo for the entire delegation that is in this room. I want to assure that all of you will be seen in the group photo. But I want also to assure you that the Personal Data Protection Act will be complied. So photographers, I think you can come on this side and then take that one group photo before we allow the guest of honor to leave. I understand it's not so much unusual, but those who are in Cardiff, I think they saw the same thing. And luckily we saw the same thing in Rwanda last year. Actually, this year, not last year. Yeah, that's bringing us to the end of our session of opening session. May I now allow the guest of honor to take leave so that we can proceed with the other activity. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. You may take your seats. Distinguished participants, now is the time for health break. I will give some short announcements of where we are going for that purpose. Please feel free to use the closest exit to where you're seated. But however, representative of the Chief Justices, President of the African Court, President of the East African Court of Justice, Justices of the Supreme Court, Justices of the Court of Appeal, Justices from the East Africa Court of Justice and African Court, Judicial Service Commissioners, Principal Judges. I would like for you to use this exit. You'll get your health break in this buffet. And the buffet on my right, and everyone else can use the buffets on the rear of the auditorium and on the rear right of the auditorium. Please, we will only use 40 minutes for our health break. It is now 11:32. We will be back here to begin our second session at 12:12. Please, may I ask you now to